Here we are, first up on the recommended rum journey, where you should start your journey, in my humble opinion. The last episode we covered spiced rum, so if you've missed that and want to learn more about spiced rum, feel free to jump on back. But for now, we're starting here. What's going on, everybody? My name is Brian and I am the Rum Champion. I am developing this mini-series on YouTube called The Recommended Rum Journey to help guide you on your rum journey. It's really daunting. Where do you start? How do you progress? There's a lot of information out there, but I have aimed to consolidate all of that to this mini series. So this segment is going to be different because I have a lot of rums to get through. I'm not going to go super deep into any of these rums because nobody wants to sit here for 40 minutes. Let's be real. Why do I say that we're going to start here though? Well, because this is based off of my observations, whether I'm working behind the bar at Lucky Tiki in West Hollywood or hosting any of the countless rum education events that I've hosted between California and Arizona. My observation is that people that are getting into sipping rums or exploring that concept tend to, but not always, start with lighter and in some cases sweeter rums. So the first grouping of bottles here, many of these have sugar added after distillation, which it's actually a good time to talk about this. There is a debate in the rum world whether or not sugar should be added. Should it be added? Should it be added? Is it not supposed to be added? Which this is not the forum for that. Where I am at with this sugar debate is I want transparency. I think it is a bit wild that alcohol is one of the most consumed things that we as human beings put into our bodies. And yet there are no nutritional labels that are required, which is kind of nuts, if you ask me, because we think it's water and molasses or sugarcane juice and yeast and all these things, distiller's caramel for color consistency, but we don't really know. I'm on the transparency train. Drink what you like, but let's know what we're drinking, right? Who's with me? Okay, I'm off the soapbox, and now we're going to talk a little bit about these rums. These rums here are from Latin colonized places, so Central America or Caribbean islands that Spain had colonized. And the reason we're starting here is because these tend to, but not always, but tend to be lighter and sweeter styles of rum that people start with. So for example, you have Cihuatán out of El Salvador, you have Santa Teresa from Venezuela, Bacardi Ocho from Puerto Rico. And a quick thing about Bacardi, everybody likes to bash it. And yes, some of the business practices and domination and all these things, they're a huge, huge brand. The Bacardi 8-year is a fantastic rum. It's great for cocktails. And I know it's trendy to say, oh, Bacardi and lime-flavored Bacardi. Well, you know what? Don Q, who we're going to highlight in a second, they do the same thing, and no one's giving them grief for making coconut-flavored rum. Panama Pacific from Panama, Brugal 1888, lovely expression from the Dominican Republic. Abuelo 12-year from Panama again, two Panamanian rums. What? And then we have Goslings and Angostura, and there's a lot of people that enjoy these rums. Yes, they tend to be on the sweeter side. And if you're just getting into rum, these are very safe bets to start because they're going to be a little lighter. They're mostly column stilled, molasses based, and they're not scary, which I think if you don't know how to swim, you walk into the pool, you don't jump into the deep end. With that, I'm going to shift this and we're going to have a new lineup of rums to talk about. 1 second. We've reset to a whole slew of new rums. There are literally thousands of rums out there waiting to be discovered. Again, don't be like me. Don't buy every single bottle just because you want to taste it. Or do. Again, it's your journey. Ron Carupano from Venezuela. This, they claim, has less sugar added, or no sugar added, excuse me. I haven't seen any hydrometer tests, so I'm waiting to verify, kind of like HBO's Chernobyl Trust, but verify. Ron Botran, from what I've seen from hydrometer tests and things like that, this one doesn't have intense added sugar. And quick thing about hydrometer tests, this is not well known. Hydrometer tests measure the density of the liquid, not just the sugar. So that could incorporate things like distiller's caramel E150. It could add sugar. It could be other things that we don't know about. So again, transparency and nutritional labels on bottles of alcohol. And we have Rum Barbancourt from Haiti. I am a brand ambassador for Barbancourt, so when I talk about them, just know there is a relationship. This is 100% cane juice, and it's not grassy or intense like agricoles, which we'll get to later on in the journey. Clark's Court out of Grenada, wonderful stuff. Not available in California. Distribution in the US is kind of crazy, but very nice. Don Q, I have talked about Don Q quite a bit. Puerto Rico, they are not adding sugar at all. So once you've had maybe one of those sugary rums, or sweeter rums, we'll say, like a Diplomatico Reserva Exclusiva, the first rum that I sipped neat and went, wow, this is what rum tastes like. Maybe after you try the Diplomatico and then you try this, and if you go back to Diplomatico, it might be too sweet, or you might like it just the same. There's no right, there's no wrong. Barcelo claims also not to be adding sugar, and I believe the hydrometer tests that are out there, I'll put a caption if I'm misspeaking, suggest that there's not as much sugar added to a lot of these rums. This is an organic expression. Dominican Republic, mwah, lovely stuff. Flor de Caña, I have talked about a lot. They are not adding sugar to their rums. Nicaragua, family-owned, single estate. They're growing their own cane and everything. Last but certainly not least is Diamond. You may know Diamond's sister brand, El Dorado Rum, made by Demerara Distillers Limited. I am also a brand ambassador for Diamond and El Dorado. So again, there's a relationship. I'm very transparent about that. As we wrap up here, I know I showed a lot of rums, and it was this one, this one, this one, this one. When we have videos where I'm going to show you more options, I'm going to condense it down. And again, with the recommended rum journey, I'm going to give you 3 to 5, 3 to 6, somewhere in that range. I'll decide as I continue on this mini series, my personal recommended rum journey for you. With that, Brugal, Dominican rum. This is widely available. If you wanted to pick up a bottle, I think it's less than $40. Safe place to start your journey, which is where we are right now. Next, you could do Santa Teresa. I think this is $45, $50 range. Again, I haven't looked at the prices in a hot second. Then we've got Barbancourt 8-year, roughly around $35 depending on where you live. Flor de Caña and Don Q. So for starting your recommended rum journey, and we'll do a recap at the very end of the journey of all the bottles, and we'll do the whole thing. But this is my recommendation to you if you are just starting out with rum and you want to start sipping and experiencing rum and going from sweet to light and dry. None of these are scary. None of these are going to make you go, oh my God, what am I drinking? We're going to get there. But my goal is to help you take baby steps to where our taste buds are finally ready to drink bolder, more intense things. Give me some feedback in the comments. Do you want me to go deeper into some of these bottlings? Do you want more information? Do we want less information? I am here for you, and I am here to help. So please let me know your thoughts and feedback. In the meantime, thank you all so much. We'll see you next time.